Meanwhile, first we take a look at the headlines. Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pande says North border situation is stable yet sensitive. Continue to talk at diplomatic and military levels. Second day of vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. Various investments announced on day one. UN Security Council strongly condemns the Houthi attacks on Red Sea shipping, demands immediate end to the attacks. In sports, India to face Afghanistan in the first T20 international in the northern Indian city of Mohali. Virat Kohli to miss the first match. In an annual press briefing, Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pande said that North border situation is stable yet sensitive and that we continue to operate with other agencies and state administration.
As far as the situation on the northern borders goes, I would say the situation is stable yet sensitive. We continue to talk both at the military level as well as the diplomatic level as per the established protocols and procedures to find resolution to the balance issues which remain. Our operational preparedness in these areas continues to be of a very high level, and our deployment is both robust as well as balanced.
Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pande also said that we are committed to boosting more infrastructure on the border areas.
We continue to focus on our capability development initiatives, especially along our borders, including induction of modern technologies, disruptive niche technologies, as also focusing on infrastructure development in these areas, be it the road connectivity. We continue to operate with other government agencies who are also operating in these areas, as also the state administration, to better achieve the desired outcomes.
The 10th edition of Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2024 is underway in western Indian city of Gandhinagar. The summit is seeing participation from around 130,000 delegates from 140 countries over 2 days and is witnessing deals and MOUs worth billions of dollars. Notably, the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit saw industry captains pledging investments worth over 2.38 lakh crore rupees on the inaugural day itself. The announcements were mostly made in the sectors of green mobility, renewable energy and semiconductors. The leaders promising the investment lauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his vision and for creating an institutionalized framework that has made this into a global event. Education plays a key role for overall development, and when it comes to the global south, it becomes all the more important. DD India correspondent Vishal Baristo spoke to students of Papua New Guinea and Niger at the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit in the Indian city of Gandhinagar.
When we talk about the future, education plays a very important role. I have with me some students from Papua New Guinea and Niger. Let's talk to them and find out. What's your name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia, Papua New Guinea and India. How do you see things?
I see India is it's developing very rapidly, very fast, unlike my country, and it's a very big challenge. And it's a very big challenge for me, being here in Gujarat and seeing what's happening in reality, because I'm proud that I'm here now, set foot in Gujarat, India. I am very much privileged, and I'm happy to the Prime Minister of India for the privilege, because you see, for me to come here on my own, it's worth much, but the government of India sponsored me, and I am now here, connecting with the people outside, and that's real. It's reality. It speaks the volume of what the government of India is doing. He's connecting the country, and now I'm here, sponsoring me, and I'm here now seeing the summit. Thank you.
And do you know that recently our Prime Minister was there in Papua New Guinea also, visited your country?
I just watched YouTube today. I think he visited my country because he's trying to help my country. I believe so. He's trying to help my country because knowing that my Prime Minister, James Marape, he mentioned something that when the Prime Minister landed and set foot on the airport, my Prime Minister bent down and touched his knee. It symbolizes that your Prime Minister can really appreciate and can really go down to the level of my country and get the people to grow. Everyone, no one is left behind, and I am happy.
No one is left behind, and there you heard from Papua New Guinea. India believes in one earth, one family, one future. With cameraman Jagmohan in Gandhinagar, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
The future also lies with green energy, and both Finland and India can contribute a lot in this sector. Speaking exclusively to DD India correspondent Vishal Baristo at the vibrant Gujarat Global Investors Summit, the Finnish ambassador says that India, with its strong market, and Finland, with its expertise in green energy, can set a role model for future economies.
We are here in Gandhinagar at the Global Gujarat Summit, which is called Vibrant Gujarat, and I have with me the ambassador of Finland. Let's talk to him and find out. Ambassador, Finland is quite vocal about green energy.
Yeah, I think those really are certainly the most potential areas of cooperation, and we also have developed a concept that we call DESI, which comes from digitalization, education, sustainability and innovation. And I think that says a lot about how we also see the possibilities for cooperation.
How do you see India and Finland bilateral trade?
Well, bilateral trade is now overall about 3 billion euros in both directions. But the trend is good. It's very much rising. And in addition to that, of course, we have Finnish investments here in India worth about 4 billion euros, as well as Indian investments in Finland about 1 billion euros. So I think the direction certainly is encouraging.
One last question. What do you have to say about the hospitality of Gujarat in India?
Well, I can only say that it's excellent. I'm really happy to visit and experience it.
So there you heard from the Finnish ambassador. He is quite vocal about the strong relationship between India and Finland, and he also says that indeed Gujarat is gateway to future. With cameraman Jagmohan in Gandhinagar, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
India and Korea have a strong cultural and historic bond from the days of Ramayana. DD India correspondent Vishal Baristo spoke to a Korean delegate at the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit in Gandhinagar. Let's listen in.
Spoke about Ram Temple and Korea relation. Tell us about that.
About the Ram Mandir, between India and Korea, we have this princess of Ayodhya who came to Korea 2,000 years ago, who got married to Korean king. Today, more than the population of Sweden is descendants of this princess of Ayodhya. And when I went to Ayodhya temple in February 2023, I learned that the princess of Ayodhya is connected to Lord Ram. And many people in Korea, they don't know about it. So in that sense, I made a proposal last year at Foreign Correspondents Club of East Asia in New Delhi to make a Ram temple in South Korea.
In the run-up to the grand consecration ceremony approaching closer, the government of Uttar Pradesh is ramping up the connectivity to ease inflow of pilgrims and tourists. Union Minister for Civil Aviation Jyotiraditya Scindia and the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath inaugurated the flight operations of Indigo at Maharishi Valmiki International Airport. Indigo has now commenced operations effective from 1st January between Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Ayodhya Dham. Second to the flight operations between Ayodhya and New Delhi, which commenced from 10th January. India's Minister for Civil Aviation, Jyotiraditya Scindia, spoke about flight connectivity between Ayodhya Dham and Ahmedabad.
गुजरात की वाइब्रेंसी और अयोध्या की आध्यात्मिक वाइब्रेंसी और उत्तर प्रदेश की आध्यात्मिक वाइब्रेंसी का ये संगम इस फ्लाइट के द्वारा भी तय किया जाएगा। दोनों ही शहर, जहां एक तरफ प्रधानमंत्री जी के दिल के करीब दोनों राज्य हैं, वहां दोनों ही शहर एक मानक है भारत के समृद्ध इतिहास का, भारत के आकर्षण का, भारत की शक्ति का, भारत की संस्कृति का और भारत की सभ्यता की। और इसलिए आज इस फ्लाइट के आधार पर केवल 2 शहरों को नहीं जोड़ा जा रहा है, लेकिन इससे आर्थिक विकास की पहिया को गति दी जाएगी, पर्यटन की पहिए को गति दी जाएगी, धार्मिक क्षमता की पहिए को गति दी जाएगी और पूर्ण रूप से दोनों राज्यों के लोगों और श्रद्धालुओं को जोड़ने को भी एक नवीन गति दी जाएगी।
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, जिन्होंने उत्तर प्रदेश को चौथा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट के रूप में महर्षि वाल्मीकि इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट अयोध्या प्रदान किया है। 30 दिसंबर को इस चौथे इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट के उद्घाटन के साथ ही अयोध्या दिल्ली के बीच में वायु सेवा प्रारंभ हुई और आज मेरे लिए अत्यंत प्रसन्नता का क्षण है कि अयोध्या से अहमदाबाद को जोड़ने के लिए एक नई वायु सेवा इंडिगो के द्वारा प्रारंभ की जा रही है।
With preparations in the final leg, Ram Temple in the pilgrim city of Ayodhya is being adorned like a bride for the consecration ceremony that is scheduled on 22nd of this month. With elephants etched on both panels holding lotus in their trunks and other beautiful carvings, the first golden door has been installed at the temple. It is about 12 feet high and 8 feet wide. As many as 13 more doors are to be installed within this week. A short break ahead on this edition of DD India Live, but when we come back, we get you details on violence surging in Ecuador. Number of arrests have been made after the army was deployed to restore law and order. White House plans to send an unofficial delegation to Taiwan elections. And Afghanistan will face India in the first of the 3-match T20 series in Mohali on Thursday.
In a world that never stops, where information shapes our reality, one app stands out, helps you stay ahead of time. Introducing the DD India app, your gateway to a world of news right at your fingertips. Your most trusted source of news goes global, goes digital. Explore a world of options, top stories, live updates, in-depth analysis, and more. Stay informed wherever you are. Real-time alerts keep you ahead of the curve always. The DD India app, connecting you to the world one story at a time. Download now and explore the world of knowledge, insights.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Let's get to more updates. SpiceJet will soon launch its air services to the holy city Ayodhya and Lakshadweep. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the newly constructed Maharishi Valmiki Airport in Ayodhya last month. And as we told you, Indigo was the first airline to operate flights to Ayodhya. With Ram Temple in Ayodhya set to open for devotees on January 22nd, the city is expected to witness an increase in visitors. Besides this, following the recent developments involving Maldives, the tourism interest in Lakshadweep is expected to rise. Under the guidance and directions of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath of the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, a cultural extravaganza will commence from 14 January in the holy city of Ayodhya. It will celebrate the spirit of Ayodhya and the deep-rooted faith of people in Lord Ram. Let's talk of other news now. On the second and final day of his United Kingdom visit, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh called on British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in London. In a meeting, the minister highlighted that both the nations have made significant strides in moulding and recrafting the historic ties into a modern, multifaceted and mutually beneficial partnership. Rajnath Singh recalled the recent enhancement in bilateral defence engagement, spanning joint exercises, training, capability building, increased interoperability, military-to-military ties, especially in the maritime domain. He also stated that the United Kingdom and other like-minded countries should work with India for strengthening a peaceful and stable global rules-based order. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh further stated that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading the quest of 1.4 billion Indians towards the national objective of becoming a developed country by mid-21st century. At the international level, the Government of India is ready to partner with friends like the United Kingdom to strengthen the rules-based world order. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak fully agreed with the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on the need for UK and India to work together in domains of trade, defence and technology. In particular, he expressed hope that the ongoing free trade agreement negotiations could be brought to a successful conclusion soon. He also underlined his keenness and that of his government to strengthen defence and security pillar of the bilateral relationship, including through government backing for stronger business and technology partnerships with Indian counterpart entities. With that insight to boost India-UK ties and deepening of the cooperation between the two countries, Rajnath Singh also met UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron on Wednesday. The ministers appreciated the new momentum and direction of the India-UK partnership. Now, this was symbolized by intense engagements at various levels. Rajnath Singh outlined the importance of bilateral startup-level interaction and identification and discussion of joint projects which India and UK could implement together. Foreign Secretary Cameron reiterated the UK government's desire to collaborate with India in the defence areas, particularly in the field of defence industrial collaboration. On the last day of his UK visit, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh attended a community reception at India House in London. Citing a recent article published in the Chinese Global Times, hailing India's growth story, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that the Chinese government now accepts that India cannot be ignored at the global level.
I believe that the courage shown by our Jawan during the standoff with Chinese troops at Galwan Valley in Arunachal Pradesh helped alter Beijing's perspective on Bharat. We are no more a weak country in the eyes of the world. We are a rising global power.
The growth in the real wages stayed positive in India for the second consecutive year in 2022 after the COVID pandemic. The latest study by International Labour Organization, titled World Employment and Social Outlook, states that along with Turkey, India is the only country among the G20 grouping that saw positive growth in real wages. It said a vast majority of G20 countries' real wages declined because of high inflation, despite having low unemployment and positive employment growth. The wages declined the most in Brazil, Italy and Indonesia. The report states that India has contributed to the growth of South Asian region. Global unemployment rate is expected to reach 5.2% in 2024 from 5.1% in 2023. The UN Security Council has demanded that Yemen's Houthis immediately end the attacks on ships in the Red Sea, calling navigational rights and freedom in the Red Sea a global challenge.
The threat to navigational rights and freedoms in the Red Sea is a global challenge that necessitates a global response. The basic principle of freedom of navigation is at stake, and the Houthis and anyone who enables them need to hear a clear message from this council. These attacks must stop.
Security Council in a resolution also called on the Houthi rebels to release the Galaxy Leader, a Japanese-operated vehicle carrier linked to an Israeli businessman along with his 25-person crew.
The Houthi have repeatedly attacked commercial vessels with advanced weaponry, such as anti-ship ballistic missiles, drones, and small boats. The Houthi have also seized the Japanese-operated Galaxy Leader and continues to hold the ship and its crew for nearly 50 days. Once again, we strongly demand the Houthis to release the vessel and its crew immediately and unconditionally.
Meanwhile, the White House plans to send an unofficial delegation to Taiwan following the self-ruled island's presidential and parliamentary elections. However, the participants of the delegation and the timing of their trip are not yet finalized. Taiwan's voters head to the polls on Saturday. Also, U.S. is in regular touch with all of Taiwan's candidates and expects strong security trade partnerships to continue. They have reiterated that disruption of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait would seriously damage the global economy. As violence surges in Ecuador, a number of arrests have been made after the army was deployed to restore law and order in the South American country. Launching a military crackdown on gangs, Ecuadorian armed forces have arrested 329 terrorists and 5 others were killed. While inmates in Ecuador are holding more than 130 prison guards and other staff hostage in at least 5 prisons. Earlier, 5 gunmen took over a television station live on air, and explosions erupted around the country on Tuesday in a dramatic wave of fresh violence this week. The hostage-taking began in the early hours of Monday after the apparent escape of a gang leader from a prison over the weekend, spurring Ecuador's President Daniel Noboa to declare a 60-day state of emergency. The sense of calm has been stripped away from the Quito locals as people in Ecuador are struggling since the nation went into a turmoil. Businesses around the Ecuadorian capital of Quito remained closed as few people braved the streets amid the uncertainty of violence escalating further. And amid the wave of violence in Ecuador, its neighboring country Peru has also put the guards up. Peruvian police have strengthened its operations on the bordering northwestern city of Tumbes on Wednesday. According to a Peruvian commander, 400 agents were deployed to the border along with another 60 officers from Peru's Special Operations National Direction. More reinforcement is also expected later in the day. In Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina's new cabinet, composed of 25 ministers and 11 state ministers, is set to be sworn in on Thursday evening. On Wednesday, the president invited Awami League president and incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to form the new government. Hasina's party, Awami League, bagged a landslide victory in the parliament polls held on Sunday. This will be her 4th consecutive term and total 5th term as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. A total of 15 ministers, 13 state ministers and 2 deputy ministers have not so far been called to take oath for joining the Bangladesh new cabinet. Portfolios will be known today after the oath ceremony. U.S. space agency NASA postponed its plans to send humans to the moon after delays hit its hugely ambitious Artemis program. The agency has announced the Artemis 3 mission to land 4 astronauts near the lunar South Pole will be delayed until September 2026, whereas the Artemis 2, a 10-day expedition to send a crew around the moon and back to test life support systems, will now be pushed back to September 2025. NASA said the delays wouldn't allow its teams to work through development challenges associated with the program. In sports, India will take on Afghanistan in the first of the 3-match T20 series in Mohali on Thursday, but both the sides are bereft of their star players. While India's batsman Virat Kohli would be unavailable for the first match due to personal reasons, Afghanistan all-rounder Rashid Khan has been ruled out due to injury. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and also Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.